Hi folks, it's Bobj here, and I just want to give you a little update on the project that we started. So here's the colors that I have in the samples, and oh yes, this one right over here is on the Thrive, and I'm happy with this color. I don't know if it's reproducing on the video well or not, but this is what I'm calling Android Green. One of the forum members said, how about Gangster Green? That's kind of a cool name too. But I thought I'd show you this, and first thing I'll show you is how nicely it came out. It really is a very heavy-duty case. So if anybody is worried about the weight of the Thrive already, I'd say don't get this case, because it's going to add a little bit of weight to it. But you got to look at the thickness of this thing. It's just amazingly well done. I'm not saying that I made it well. The folks in China who followed my designs made it very well. And well, I'm just going to take it off here, and actually, let me just, before I do that, let me start it up for you. And as you can see the LED lights, but for those folks who complained that the LED lights were too bright, I've hidden half the light with the little green strip here. And for those folks that said, the light bothers me when I'm in bed reading with the Thrive, you just tilt it a little bit like that, the lights go away. You don't have to worry about seeing them. Next, I put a little protective ridge here, because I thought it went cool with the design of the Thrive, and I wanted to kind of keep the design, and so I put this little extra ridge here. I made it wide enough. I didn't have it exactly meet the chrome. I made it wide enough so that the camera could get a clear shot, and this ridge would not interfere with the wide angle of the camera. And there's also enough room here up top so that the light does get into the light sensor, even though I'd say the top half of the light sensor is covered. Now let me go over to this side here. I'm going to turn it upside down because I think I get better lighting for you. Here's where we got all our connectors, and if you can see that, I left extra room on this side right here, so that when we open the connector, when we open the door to the connector, there's enough room for that door to to move over, so that we can get to the connectors right here, and this isn't in the way. If this silicone had come too far over, then you can see how it would have had a problem getting this door open. It would have been in the way. So there's our connectors. I don't know if you can see them or not. And I thought they did a really nice job. This thing is really fits to the 1/100th of a millimeter is what we measured it to. And let me just close this up again. I don't know if you folks have the same difficulty I do with these doors. There. A lot of you folks didn't like that funny bump I had for the SD card on the front. It used to dip down and then go way up on my early design. You said you didn't like it, so I got rid of it. And you can see I got the SD card opening right here. It's a nice, easy opening now. Plenty of room to get the SD card out, see, and put it right back in again without any difficulty. And then over where we've got all our switches and everything, I left enough room so we could get at the lock switch of the screen lock switch, and it goes pretty far over to the corner too, but I wanted to be able to make sure I could get at the LEDs here, and they would show. If I brought it over too far, I would have covered over the LEDs, so I was careful about that. and there's nothing on this side. The only thing that's on the Thrive itself is the lock to take the back off, and obviously it didn't make any sense to put a opening there because you're not going to take the door off when you've got the silicone case on. At least I hope you're not. Now let's take a look at the speaker area here in the bottom. If you can see this, let me just get these other cases out of the way. Okay, on the bottom what I did is, if you can see it, I left quite a bit more room than the speaker itself for the occasional hardware hacker who wants to actually change the speakers. I'm going to change mine. I've already bought them, and so I'll probably have the first Thrive, I hope, unless somebody beats me to it, with high fidelity Bose speakers coming out of the ports down here. Now here's I left this place also here for the connecting dock, and this is not going to fit on the connecting dock, obviously. You can always take the dock and lay it against here and just draw a line as a template, and you can take out that amount of silicone where the dock goes. I think. I haven't tried it. The only problem is it still rounds a lot on the front here, and that might get in the way of the dock. You can't cut the front off. Okay, so what I did is I also, you can see you've got the nice opening for the back camera, and there's plenty of room there around the chrome to let the wide angle of the camera come through without picking up any of the silicone block in it. And there's a reason for the feet. At first I thought maybe I wasn't going to put the feet on, but I did. And the reason I did that is for cushioning, frankly. If the Thrive drops, and it drops on the flat surface here, because there's so much surface area, there's not a lot of ability for this to compress. So what I did is I had them put on these little feet, and the feet I think are about 4 millimeters thick, and those are there so you'll get a little bit of compression if this thing drops. If it drops flat, it's going to get a little bit of compression. And it also sits pretty nice and stable. It's not going to go anywhere. This is a nice silicone rubber that isn't going to move on you. And that's pretty much what it looks like. I think those are all the features. I'm going to point out though, I want you to look at how heavy excuse me, the silicone is here. I was going to take one of the sample cases and cut it in half to try to create a cross section, and then I said, oh, I'll be wasting the case, somebody probably will want it. So I probably won't cut it in half, but I am going to take it off, this one off, and I'll put on the blue one. You can see what it's actually like to do that. Notice how nice and tightly everything fits. It just fits beautifully, and it's a pretty firm silicone. It's not like the case for the Acer Iconia, and this thing is unbelievably junky. Excuse me, manufacturer, whoever made it, but look at this thing. It's you know, it's like a piece of paper, and it's got no protection at all. I'm not sure what the purpose of it is. You can see when I play with it how there's nothing to it here. See, it's and this is about a $9 to $12 on Amazon, depending upon which vendor you purchase it from. So, frankly, folks, I don't think this is worth anything. I'm glad they do not make it for the Thrive.